Jaya Radha Madhava Shri Radhe. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Gurudeva, Jaya Gurudeva, Gurudeva, Jaya Gurudeva. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. So thank you all for joining today. Starting Bhagavad Gita as it is, chapter 16, verse number 1 to 3. We are still reading in the middle of purport. So we'll continue after the prayers. Let me share my screen here. We will start with the pranam mantra. Anyone would like to recite pranam mantras, devotees?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, then I can recite. Hare Krishna devotees and Atnam Holbustation. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Gnananjanashalakaya Chakshuram Nilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Dadadi Snapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Utapadakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raguna Tam Sajivam Satvaitam Savadutam Parijanasahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitam Syam He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Shri Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानन्द श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृन्द हरे कृष्ण
Hare
कृष्ण
Krishna,
कृष्ण
Krishna
कृष्ण
Krishna,
हरे
Hare Hare,
हरे
Hare
राम
Rama, Hare Rama,
राम
Rama Rama.
राम हरे हरे थैंक यू हरे कृष्ण
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. So, so in the did we recite all the 4 verses, or only we did 3 verses, or did we do?
We recited the verses, Prabhuji, but
Okay.
not the purport.
So on the purport, you can let me know which where we stopped. Swadhyaya, tapas, brahmanika, ahimsa, satyam, akrodha, tejas,
I think it's
sauch.
before that. It's much before that. Where it says Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Chota Haridasa, you have to keep going back.
Okay, here.
Yeah, okay, we finished that paragraph, so the next paragraph.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So
next
this
item.
for
Yeah.
purity. So this one is Varnashram Sannyasi rules. Okay.
Yeah.
Jnana Yoga Vyavasthiti. Okay, this is the next item. We will start from here. Sure. So we can, anyone would like to read this paragraph, devotees?
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Yes, Mataji.
The next item is Jnana Yoga Vashisthiti. Um, Being engaged in the cultivation of knowledge, sannyasi life is meant for distributing knowledge to the householders and others who have forgotten their real life of spiritual advancement. A sannyasi is supposed to beg from door to door for his livelihood, but this does not mean that he is a beggar. Humility is one of his qualifications of the transcendentally situated person. And out of sheer humility, The sannyasi goes from door to door, not exactly for the purpose of begging, but to see the householders and awaken them to Krishna consciousness. This is the duty of the sannyasi. If he is actually advanced and so ordered by his spiritual master, he should preach Krishna consciousness with logic and understanding. And if one is not so advanced, he should not accept the renounced order of life. But even if one has accepted the renounced order of life without sufficient knowledge, he should engage himself fully in hearing from a bona fide spiritual master to cultivate knowledge. A sannyasi or one in the renounced order of life must be situated in fearlessness, sattva samsuddhi, purity, and jnana yoga, knowledge. Hare Krishna, bro.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Priti Mataji. So the next item is charity. Anyone would like to read this thing? We all did contribute
Hare
charity.
Krishna Prabhu.
Yes, Mataji.
Can I try?
Yeah, please, Mataji.
The next item is charity. Charity is meant for the householders. The householders should earn a livelihood by an honorable means and spend 50% of their income to propagate Krishna consciousness all over the world. Thus, a householder should give in charity to institutional societies that are engaged in that way. Charity should be given to the right receiver. There are different kinds of charity as will be explained later on. Charity in the modes of goodness, passion, and ignorance. Charity in the mode of goodness is recommended by the scriptures, but charity in modes of passion and ignorance is not recommended because it is simply a waste of money. Charity should be given only to propagate Krishna consciousness all over the world. That is charity in the mode of goodness.
Thank you,
Hare
Sunita
Krishna Mataji.
Mataji. Thank you, Hare Krishna. So the next we have Dhamma self-control. Anyone would like to read?
I can read, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
Then, as far as Dhamma, Dhamma, self-control is concerned, it is not only meant for other orders of religious society, but is especially meant for the householder. Although he has a wife, a householder should not use his senses for sex life unnecessarily. There are restrictions for the householders, even in sex life, who should only be engaged in for the propagation of children. If he does not require children, he should not enjoy sex life with his wife. Modern society enjoys sex life with contraceptive methods or more abominable methods to avoid the responsibility of children. This is not in the transcendental quality, but is demoniac. If anyone, even if he is a householder, wants to make progress in spiritual life, he must control his sex life and should not beget a child without the purpose of serving Krishna. If he is able to beget children who will be in Krishna consciousness, one can produce hundreds of children. But without the capacity, one should not indulge only for sense pleasure. Back to Roji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. So the next paragraph is sacrifice. Devotees, anyone else?
I can read, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna devotees. Sacrifice is another item to be performed by the householders because sacrifice requires a large amount of money. Those in the other orders of life, namely Brahmacharya, Vanaprastha, and Sannyasa, have no money. They live by begging. So, performance of different types of sacrifice is meant for the householders. They should perform Agnihotra sacrifice as enjoyed in the Vedic literature. But such sacrifices at present moment are very expensive, and it is not possible for any householder to perform them. The best sacrifice recommended in this age of is called Sankirtan Yajna. The Sankirtan Yajna is the chanting of Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Is the best and the most inexpensive sacrifice. Everyone can adopt it and derive benefit. So, These three items, namely charity, self-control, and performance of sacrifice, are meant for the householder. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Subal Prabhuji. So next we have Swadhyaya. Anyone else would like to read? So I can read. So then Swadhyaya, Vedic study is meant for brahmacharya or student life. Brahmacharis should have no connection with women. They should live in a life of celibacy and engage the mind in the study of Vedic literature for cultivation of spiritual knowledge. This is called Swadhyaya. Tapas. And then we have Ahimsa. Okay, so next is tapas or austerity. I can read this as well. Tapas or austerity is especially meant for the retired life. One should not remain a householder throughout his whole life. He must always remember that there are four divisions of life: Brahmacharya, Grahastha, Vanaprastha, and Sannyasa. So, after Grahastha, householder life, one should retire. If one lives for 100 years, he should spend 25 years in student life, 25 years in householder life, 25 years in retired life, and 25 in the renounced order of life. These are the regulations of the Vedic religious discipline. A man retired from household life must practice austerities of body, mind, and tongue. That is tapasya. The entire Varnashrama Dharma society is meant for tapasya. Without tapasya or austerity, no human being can get liberation. The theory that there is no austerity in life, that one can go on speculating and everything will be nice, is recommended neither in the Vedic literature nor in Bhagavad Gita. Such theories are manufactured by show bottle spiritualists who are trying to gather more followers. If there are restrictions, rules, and regulations, people will not become attracted. Therefore, those who want followers in the name of religion just to have a show only don't restrict the lives of the students nor their own lives, but that method is not approved by the Vedas. Report. So next is the Brahminical quality of simplicity. Anyone else would like to read devotees?
I can read, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, sure, Mataji.
As far as the Brahminical quality of simplicity is concerned, not only should a particular order of life follow this principle, but every member, be he in the Brahmacharya ashrama, Grihastha ashrama, Banaprastha ashrama, or Sannyas ashrama, one should be very simple and straightforward. Ahimsa means not arresting the progressive life of any living entity. One should not think that since the spirit spark is never killed, even after the killing of the body, there is no harm in killing animals for sense gratification. People are not now addicted to eating animals in spite of having an ample supply of grains, fruits, and milk. There is no necessity for animal killing. This injunction is for everyone. When there is no alternate, one may kill an animal, but it should be offered in sacrifice. At any rate, when there is an ample food supply for humanity, persons who are desiring to make advancement in spiritual realization should not commit violence to animals. Real ahimsa means not checking anyone's progressive life. The animals are also making progress in their evolutionary life by transmigrating from one category of animal life to another. If a particular animal is killed, then his progress is checked. If an animal is staying in a particular body for so many days or so many years and is untimely killed, then he has to come back again in that form of life to complete the remaining days in order to be promoted to another species of life. So their progress should not be checked simply to satisfy one's palate. This is called ahimsa.
Thank you, Mataji. So next we have Satyam. Anyone else would like to read devotees?
Hare Krishna,
Yeah.
Dandavat Pranam Prabhuji.
Yes,
Shall I
please.
read Prabhuji?
Yeah, please, Prabhuji. Yeah.
Satyam. This word means that one should not distort the truth the truth for some personal interest. In Vedic literature, there are some difficult passages, but the meaning are The purpose should be learned from a bona fide spiritual master. This is the process of understanding the Vedas. Shruti means that one should hear from the authority. One should not construe some interpretation for his personal interest. There are so many commentaries on Bhagavad Gita that mi- misinterpret the original text. The real import of the word should be presented, and that should be learned from a bona fide spiritual master. Shall I continue, Prabhuji?
Yeah. Let's see if anyone else would like to read.
Okay, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Dandavat.
Prabhu, how about we discuss first
I
and then
I can read.
Yes, Mataji. If someone is saying something, Mataji.
Hello.
If Mataji is saying something?
Hi. Hare
Okay.
Krishna. This is Nandini Kishore Devdasi. I thought it's better to discuss some and then, or you can explain some things and then we read. Otherwise, it's just reading.
Yes, Mataji. So we are almost 3 paragraphs. So we started from tapas, swadhyaya, sacrifice, dhamma. Okay, so we started from here, jnana yoga vyavasthitit. So right now we did satyam, akrodha, tejas, saucham. So the 3 more paragraph. I would like to read and then we can discuss, Mataji. That way there is a so this 3 verses can be at least today we can wrap. So I think we can discuss tomorrow also, but depending on how much we can accomplish.
Okay, I'll read this one. You. Akrodha means to check anger. If there is provocation, one should be tolerant, for once one becomes angry, his whole body becomes polluted. Anger is a product of the mode of passion and lust. So one who is transcendently situated should check himself from anger. Apaishunam means that one should not find fault with others or correct them unnecessarily. Of course, to call a thief is not fault finding, but to call an honest person a thief is very much offensive for one who is making advancement in spiritual life. Re means that one should be very modest and must not perform some act which is abominable. Achapalam, determination, means that one should not be agitated or frustrated in some attempt. There may be failure in some attempt, but one should not be sorry for that. You should make progress with patience and determination.
Thank you, Raghu Prabhu. So this Tejas and Saucham, probably I would leave it for tomorrow. So there's so much to discuss in these qualities. So let's probably pass here. It's already 23. So let's see if there are any reflections from devotees who read, and then we'll discuss. Raghu Prabhu, you want to share any reflections on this akrodha?
Approval, yeah. So here it's talking about how people get angry because uh, they're in the mode of passion or lust, or they have something they have some desire and they want to attain something, and when that is not met, then they're that because of mode of passion, uh, their anger rises, and so for those who are trying to practice Krishna consciousness, it is important that we check our anger. That means we can't afford to be in the mode of passion. We should strive to rise to the mode of goodness so that we don't fall prey to uh, a krodha, which is, which can happen. But But I think the more we practice Krishna consciousness, the more calmer we become, and we we can we can check our anger. We see that in a lot of our acharyas and everyone. They're also calm and very tolerant.
Mm. So there's
Thank you.
also apaisunam, another quality is being discussed here, right? So, and then
Yeah.
achapalam, right? Yeah, I see it.
You want me to say something there? Okay. Yeah, Vaishnav is not finding fault with others or correct them unnecessarily. So it's it's if for something goes wrong with what we are trying to do, then the first thing we do is at least I'm inclined that to find fault with something or something that has happened and not realizing that I might have been the cause of that. So that's another thing to check. And if someone else finds fault with that, we can accept, but we should not find fault with others. Uh, then Achakulam. So again, we're trying to achieve something. It has to be done with determination. We should not be frustrated. Uh, we might, after repeated attempts, it might take a while sometimes. The failure is always part of any attempt. So, but with failure also comes success, and we learn from failure, and we can. So we should not be frustrated right away. We should continue to strive to achieve what we're trying to achieve and go from there. Thank you, Rohit.
Thank you, Raghu Prabhu. Thank you for sharing that. Any other devotees would like to share on this topic?
Prabhuji, Hare Krishna. So as Raghuji explained, the akrodha, to check anger. So there is a one thing I see among the Hindus when other talks about bad our religion or desecrate our temple, we tolerate. We said, oh, we tolerate. But it is clearly said that ahimsa param dharma, dharma himsa tathivacha. If we cannot protect our temple or our sadhus, our religion, that akrodha is actually cowardness. In that, like Arjun killed millions of billions of people because Krishna told that is the dharma juddha. So we see that even a lot of stories I hear. I'm from Bangladesh. I thought we are the minority. We get always these things, but even India is happening lots, and nobody protests. Nobody comes out in the street. So it is a cowardness. This is not akrodha. That is not a spiritual quality or quality of a shaktic person.
Thank you, Prabhuji, for sharing that. Any other devotees would like to share, devotees? So we read Jnana Yoga Vyavasthitit, and then we also read Charity, Dhamma, self-control, sacrifice.
Yeah, I read Dhamma, Prabhuji, Dhamma. So self-control. Here probably actually emphasized on the householders, not to indulge in unnecessary sexes. And it, sex life is only given for Krishna conscious children, progeny, we can bring in this world and help to propagate the Krishna consciousness. And actually, that way, even in the householder life, we become, by controlling our senses, this is actually huge task, and that shows us that how sincere we are in the Krishna consciousness and go further in our spirituality. Back to Puji, Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Anyone else, devotees? We have sacrifice, swadhyaya, charity, austerity, we read, and also ahimsa. Yeah, anyone else would like to share?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, I'd like to share the the ahimsa.
Ahimsa.
What I like, ahimsa, yeah. So ahimsa here, Prabhupada is telling like how bad is the animal killing is.
Right.
Because animal killing is like Krishna, each and every one is this 4.3 million species. All are Krishna's creation. All of them are Krishna's children. So killing the animals means we are killing his children's. So that is really, really bad. And there are a lot of consciousness nowadays, like is there about against animal killing, and people are becoming vegan. And but still, I have to remember that when we are killing someone, someday that the other like as Prabhupada is saying that in we read in Bhagavad Gita at chapter 14 that uh, when one this life we are killing the animals, next life the animal will kill us. So this is the law of nature. It will go on. And so that's why it's so especially the cow protection. ISKCON is very conscious about protecting the cows. Cow killing is in United States is every day is happening. And I just shared a story before that one of my colleague, she has a farm. She said she has a farm, cow farm. So I was like very much excited about, oh, you have cow farm, are you taking care of cows? Then what she told me, I was just very much shocked. And she was telling very frankly to me about things. And then I said, no, I do not want to hear that. And so anyway, so it's going on. And so much torture before killing them, so much tortures, and they cries for life, to live life. And so it's very painful. And here Prabhupada also is mentioning one point, that if someone killed immaturely, they have to come back to complete those remaining days. And that is also another to promote it to the another species of life. And so that's also very scary about like so. And Prabhupada is also calling as it's ahimsa. So Prabhuji, I have a question here, that so their progress should not be checked simply to satisfy one's palate. This is called ahimsa. Ahimsa means not killing anyone, right?
Not committing violence to animals, that is the highest ahimsa, the highest violence. There are subtle and gross. This is the gross violence that Prabhupada is mentioning here. Yes.
Cross balance. But when it says that um, someone's life it's not complete, and before that if someone kills, that animals will be killed, then they have to come back to complete the remaining days before their promotion to another species. So their progress should not be checked simply to satisfy one's palate. That is called ahimsa. So this one I just
Yes, Mataji. So himsa is violence. Ahimsa is
non-violence.
non-violence. So actually, we kind of, because of the Gandhian movement, we kind of actually misunderstood ahimsa a lot. Ahimsa is not just meant to tolerate whatever injustice caused by others, not saying anything. That's not really ahimsa. Ahimsa meaning, any time we talk about a quality, it is to be some positive contribution. So basically ahimsa is the way the ahimsa word has been coined. So you should tolerate anything and anything done to you. That is basically a wrong meaning of ahimsa. So ahimsa on the positive context, which Prabhupada is giving, is the right meaning. On the positive context is not killing anyone or causing anyone to check their progress, and like everyone is progressing towards the natural progression towards higher consciousness. Everyone is in the evolution cycle. Everyone, Krishna is giving everyone a chance to go higher and higher in the consciousness. And animals also, they're doing it, human beings are doing it. And if you check that progression, that is basically an ahimsa. In this case, your gross violence, meaning you're not only hindering that progress, you're making that soul to take another body just to satisfy your taste, which is like the grossest thing you can commit, violence to any other living entity. Torturing other living entities. Basically, if you're not allowing somebody to progress in their spiritual life or Krishna consciousness, that is also violence. But here, the highest violence is to just to satisfy your tongue. We are actually killing them. So this is very, very much on the top of the list. If on the violence side. So, any other devotees would like to share before I share devotees?
Hare Krishna. Dandavat Pranam Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhuji.
I have seen in some books, Prabhuji, ahimsa means not only the killing animals, but also with our tongue, with our loose talk. It is also himsa. With our talks, if anybody will get inconvenience with our words, it is also himsa. Is it correct, Prabhuji? Please let me know.
Only if you're speaking to insult them, if you're speaking to give the knowledge, sometimes the knowledge is not palatable. It is very bitter. Truth is always, truth is very hard to digest. So sometimes we have to speak the truth, but not to insult others, but to give them, elevate their consciousness, which is good. But just to insult others, that is also violence on the subtle and gross. That's what I was saying. Killing is gross, and there are so many subtle violences. There are so many, but we can understand from by example what Prabhupada is giving. We can understand. What's what we should not understand is just tolerating something inconveniences. That is not ahimsa. That we should clearly understand. So that way, at least the misrepresentation of the word, whatever has been coined, at least if we can understand that much, that will be a great service to Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Yeah, thank you,
Hare
Prabhuji.
Krishna Prabhuji. Yeah, and sacrifice Prabhuji, right? So there Prabhupada clearly is saying the greatest sacrifice is chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra because
Yes.
it is most inexpensive and anyone without any qualification or anything we can do. Because, and also what I remember is Prabhupada also mentions that when there is, these four varnas and the grihasthas have to maintain all the three other varnas, brahmacharya, vanprastha, and sannyasa. So, but, and also doing sacrifices, but it is not practically possible to do because we don't even have good ingredients to do. So, Sankirtan Yajna and, is the recommended practice. And the brahmacharya, the celibacy and all, those are the ones they have to follow. And of course, self-control and all we already discussed. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Yeah, thank you, Prabhuji. So very important. Sacrifice yajna. Yajnartat karmano anyatro lokoyam karma bandhanaha. Sorry, devotees, one second. Yajnartat karmano anyatro lokoyam karma bandhanaha tadartam karma kaunteya mukta sangha samachara. So the yajna is so much important that Krishna says that all the sacrifice have to be performed to satisfy Krishna. So that is. And but all yajnanam japa yajyoshmi, Krishna says all the yajnas, Krishna says the topmost yajna is japa, the chanting that we do, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, the chanting that we do. And also the Sankirtan yajna, this both are very important in the Kali Yuga. So, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu actually spread this holy name because in the Kali Yuga, this is the only way that will work. The other sacrifices, they did the 1,000 year sacrifice at the Naimisharanya forest, and before the Kali Yuga started, all the the sages were assembled there. They were doing 1,000 years. And then they saw the out of all the 1,000 years sacrifice, they did not actually were not able to produce some meaningful measure of success. And then they started the Srimad Bhagavatam Parayanam, and then Sutta Goswami started elaborating what he heard from Sukadeva Goswami. So this Kali Yuga, we can try so many ways, but at the end, we should only understand that only the Hare Krishna chanting the Maha Mantra is going to work. So I think Nandini Mataji, would you like to share anything?
Prabhu, I have a question. So here it says the best sacrifice recommended in this age is called Sankirtan Yagya. In the 10.7, I believe, it says Yagyanam Japa Yagyosmi. So
Right.
the Japa and Sankirtana is different, right? Japa is what we personally chant, and Sankirtana is what we do on the when we go out together and chant.
Right,
Not
right.
too much difference, but still little difference.
Yes, Mataji. So in the Japa and Sankirtana is the devotees used to. It's like Japa is like between you and Krishna. There is a one-on-one, relationship and one-on-one purification going on. But during the Sankirtan Yajna, sometimes you may not even chant. The one next to you will be chanting, and you will get the benefit. So the one next to you will be calling Krishna purely, and then by hearing that name, you get purified. So it's like together we do, like out 10 devotees or 20 or 100 devotees together when we do, that becomes a much more vibrant. When the devotees they all call together, then that becomes a Sankirtan Yajna. So San means together, Kirtana means glorifying Krishna. So together we glorify Krishna, and that is also so much, especially the Nama Sankirtan. So the Nama Sankirtan, chanting the holy name of Krishna together, that has so much potency or so much benefit especially in the age of Kali. So in the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says in the first verse of Sikshashtakam, Cheto Darpana Marjanam Bhava Mahadavagni Nirvapanam Shreya Kairava Chandrika Vitaranam Vidyavadu Jeevanam Anandam Buddhivardhanam Pratipadam Purnamrita Swadanam Sarvatma Snapanam Param Vijayate Sri Krishna Sankirtanam. So he says in that word, in that first verse, Sri Krishna Sankirtanam. So actually, Param Vijayata means all victory for the Sri Krishna Sankirtana, because it has so many good qualities. Like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, it is the life of all devotees. It is the knowledge, the Vidya Vadu Jivanam. It's the knowledge, the best knowledge. And it was also Anandam Buddhivardhanam. It is actually overflowing joy. So that is why when you're chanting, you get joy. Of course, there is bliss. But in the Kirtana, devotees dance, the ecstatic dance and ecstatic mood. And that ecstasy is like, unimaginable how that a Golokira Premadana Harinama Sankirtana. Like the love of Krishna in the Golok Vrindavan, that has descended in the form of Harinam Sankirtan. So if one can actually get taste in the kirtana, then a devotee is very easily Krishna will pull him, because some or other, once you get taste for Krishna's holy name, you cannot leave Krishna. Some or other Krishna will pull you. So that is why the more you chant, the more taste you get holy name. It's very easy to progress. So those are some thoughts, Mataji. Nandini Mataji, is that okay,
Thank
Mataji?
you.
Yeah, sure. Thank you, Mataji. Any other devotees would like to share any other qualities here? I think charity. Did anyone mention charity? So I think we all did charity, devotees. Yeah, Tirtha, you want to say something?
Um, no. See if I can read the next passage.
Okay, we already read. We are discussing now.
I don't have this.
Okay, so since you asked, there is, you can read this paragraph. The word Tejas.
Okay. The word tejas is used here is meant for Kshatriyas.
Kshatriyas, yeah.
Kshatriyas. The Kshatriyas should always be very strong and able to give protection to the weak. They should not post themselves as non-violent. If violence is required, they must exhibit it. But a person who is able to curb down his enemy may, under certain conditions, show forgiveness. He may excuse minor offense.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Tita. Anything you would like to share from this paragraph?
What's a Kshatriyas?
Kshatriya. Kshatriya means a warrior, fighter.
Okay.
Like Arjuna is a warrior, right?
Yeah.
So Kshatriya means a king who fights for the right cause, for dharma. So he is giving protection for the weak. You see, protection to the weak.
Mm-hmm.
So Kshatriya is ready to fight for the right cause to protect the weak. So so he is not like, he never takes he doesn't pose as a non-violent. He is always ready to fight for the right cause, just like Arjuna did, right? Okay, so now we'll discuss some of these qualities, devotees. So if you look at, I'll just give a little bit of the summary why Krishna is elaborating 26 qualities here. These 26 qualities, this chapter is titled as divine and demonic nature, right? So this 26 qualities belong to divine qualities. These are all divine qualities. So now, Bhavanti Sampadim Daivim. So Daivim means divine qualities. The demigods are supposed to have these divine qualities. So the demigods are all decorated with a lot of these divine qualities. At the same time, the devotees. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, it is said, Titikshava Karunika Sadhava Sadhu Bhushana. So the devotees or a Vaishnava is decorated just like we decorate our body with jewels, ornaments. So Krishna likes to decorate the devotees with all the wonderful qualities. So like if you have a child, you like to decorate the child, give him a bath in the morning, give her a bath, and then put nice clothes, put jewels, nicely comb the hair, and then you want to show the kid in front of the mirror, and you want to enjoy, oh, my son is looking beautiful. So Krishna also likes to see decorate his children. Vaishnavas who are dedicated to Krishna, Krishna likes to decorate them with all the good qualities. So good qualities like mentioned in this verse, like all this simplicity, ahimsa, truthfulness, akrodha, all of these wonderful qualities, Krishna likes to decorate the devotees. So here, some of the qualities that we discussed, freedom, alolupthom. So freedom from greed, apaishunam, aversion to fault finding. So this is very important. Aversion to fault finding, it's one of the very important qualities. So, for example, if we have this fault finding tendency, then how to counteract this is by appreciating devotees, we can actually counteract this quality. So we should appreciate anytime we see good qualities in devotees, we should appreciate and we should glorify them. So that way we don't just focus on the faults. Like focusing on the faults is like the crow tendency. So the crows and the swans, if you look at the swans go to beautiful lakes. They flock with the beautiful swans. They flock where the lotus flowers are there, fragrant lotus flowers. But if the crow, they go to all the garbage cans and then they try to eat, right? So the swans and the crow. And there is one bird called, I'm forgetting the name. So if you give water and milk mixed, it will drink only milk. So like that, the Vaishnavas, we should, if you're seeing 10 good qualities, one fault, we should not dwell on the fault. We should actually glorify the good qualities. So that is called aversion to fault finding. So here Krishna is saying, and then aloluptvam, freedom from greed. So and then mardavam, gentleness. So here we already discussed about shama. Let's see, we already discussed about charity. So here, I think tapasya. So tapasya, austerity, is also one of the important qualities in the spiritual life. So there was one time, Bharata Maharaj's father, Rishabdev Maharaj, he was actually teaching all his 100 sons. So while he was teaching, he was saying, Nayam deho dehabajam naraloke kashtan kaman arhati vidbujam tapo divyam putrakayena. So he's saying tapo divyam. So tapasya means austerity, divyam. So what kind of tapasya we should do for attaining the divyam, the transcendental qualities or transcendental nature? So to attain the supreme lotus feet of the Supreme Lord. But in the material world, we see a lot of people do austerities. They wake up early at 4 o'clock. They try to do a lot of go to gym, office work, and then they have a lot of business to do. They work late nights. That is also tapasya, but that kind of tapasya is not going to give good results. So tapo divyam, transcendental, for attaining the transcendental nature. So that is why in that verse, Nayam deho dehabajam naraloke kasthanu kaman arahati. Like we don't have to work very hard day and night just to get the sense gratification, which is available to the four-legged animals. Like in that verse, he gives example of camel, ass, and also camel, ass, and um, he gives another, the donkey. So those animals, they work very hard. If you look at the life of a donkey, it works very hard. It carries so much load, but then what does it eat? It eats only grass. Grass is available everywhere. So similarly, we work very hard day and night just for having sense enjoyment. That is really not tapasya. The real tapasya is austerity. Is we should utilize our life for attaining the spiritual knowledge. So that is real tapasya. So if you look at the sannyasa, like sannyasi has three danda, right? Three sticks together, and then the cloth is tied up. So mind, words, and body. So the mano, buddhi, and sarira, like the mind, vacha, mano, vacha, and sarira, like all these three things, the sannyasa dedicates, or to the Lord. So that is the real austerity that one has to perform. And Prabhupada gives very simple things, like he doesn't complicate this so much. He says, in tapasya, it's especially meant for retired life, he says. Because, in brahmachari life also there is tapasya, but he says especially meant for retired life. So we should plan our life in such a way that we should have some good retired life where we can focus on spirituality. I know Raghu Prabhu is doing that very nicely, is fully dedicated. So like that, when we retire, we should just completely detach ourselves and then do a lot of austerities that, it is like a takeoff. Like before we take off, if you go to runway, like in the Tampa airport, before the takeoff, they are at the full speed. So similarly, we had 25 years student life, 25 years, householder life, 25 years retired life. And then the last stage, before we leave the body, we should be in full austerity for the purpose of spiritual life. So that is what Prabhupada is, to the point, is mentioning. That should be the austerity that we should perform. So, and another aspect he's saying is, a lot of times if you go to yoga societies, what they would say, you don't have to do anything difficult. You can actually don't have to control anything. Just come to us, we'll make you spiritual. Those kind of societies where no rules, no regulations, that is basically hocus. It's kind of bogus. It's not really authentic, right? So those are the if there are rules and regulations, then people are not really attracted. They think it's very difficult. They cannot follow, right? So Prabhupada is very, very particular. Like each quality is pinpointing exactly what is required. So for tapasya, without tapasya, there is no scope for any spiritual life. So that is why, if you in any spiritual life, there is regulations, rules and regulations. But especially Vedic culture, we all know that there are so many prohibitions and so many positive things that we have to do. Do's and don'ts. So without that, it's all not authentic. So and then Prabhupada also talks about satyam, truth. Um, so this satyam is very, very important, that it is considered as one of the pillars of religion. Like, if you take a building stands on four pillars. So without the four pillars, the building cannot stand. Similarly, the dharma stands on the four pillars, and the truthfulness is one of the pillar of dharma. So you can imagine how much important. So in the Kali Yuga, it is mentioned that 1/4 of each dharma, each quality pillar is already vanquished. So 3/4 is vanquished, only 1/4 is remaining. So the truthfulness, austerity, cleanliness, and purity. So these four are the legs, the pillars of the religion. So here the truthfulness, already in this 26 qualities, we can see there is truthfulness, there is austerity, there is also cleanliness, and there is also purity. All the four pillars of the religion is part of this 26 qualities. So you can imagine, Krishna is giving all those wonderful list of qualities for us to develop. And if we can just take one quality and try to develop, the other qualities would automatically manifest, because we want to develop any good quality. You want to develop, you develop for pleasing Krishna. For example, you want to become, you want to do austerities for the purpose of Krishna. So how you can do that? You can actually wake up morning and then you can chant Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. You can also take bath. You can do some deity worship in front of Krishna. So gradually the other qualities would automatically develop. You will become, naturally you will become pure. Naturally the purity also will develop. The other qualities of truthfulness also will develop. So any one quality you start developing towards Krishna, then other qualities would automatically manifest. Because all of this are interrelated. One quality is related with another quality. It is like one complements the other qualities. So everything is interrelated. So the way we can develop is by actively chanting Krishna's holy name. Then we can develop all these wonderful qualities. So by chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, Krishna will inspire within the heart. Just like if you want to develop something, naturally you look at, when somebody want to become very popular in sports, they go and then see, they talk to people who are already popular. They get some interest and they get some desire. Oh, I also want to become like that. So when we actually go and see some Vaishnavas who are really decorated with these wonderful qualities, and they are looking so beautiful, their life is so wonderful, we will also get some desire. Oh, I want to be like that devotee. See, look at him, he's so beautiful, he's so nice, he's so gentle, he's so modest, he's very pure. Like that, we'll also get desire. So that's why we should associate with Vaishnavas, chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. So Krishna is like a fire. Krishna Surya Sama, Maya Haya Andakar, Yahan Krishna Taha Nehi Maya Radhika. So Krishna is like the sun. and Maya is like the darkness. So when we associate with Krishna, automatically we'll get all these wonderful qualities. So one by one, the qualities would manifest. And naturally, there is an endeavor that we have to do, and Krishna also would reciprocate and give his mercy. Both has to go hand in hand together. So it's like in those days, there will be two-door system, right? You open one door, again there'll be another door from inside they have to open, right? So like that, we have to open our door, and Krishna also is ready to open his door. And naturally, all these wonderful qualities would manifest. So Hare Krishna, it's already 9 o'clock. There's so many wonderful qualities that Krishna is talking about. Maybe some of these can be discussed tomorrow also in the class. So I'd like to see if there are any other thoughts anyone would like to discuss, devotees.
Hare Krishna, Dandat Pranam Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, yes.
Very wonderfully you have explained about this divine 26 qualities. It is very, very essence to learn all our human being. Just now you have told that in Maya. Maya is also powerful, Prabhuji. It is always, it will be in backside of ours. So you have explained very, very nicely. Dandavat Pranam, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, thank you, Shamashana Prabhu. Thank you. Anyone else, devotees?
Thank you, Prabhuji. Very nicely. You summarize all the points, Prabhuji. All the devotees' qualities.
Hello.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mataji. Anyone else, devotees, would like to share anything? Tita, what's your realization today? Anything you would like to share? Just say one. Just give me one point that you understood today.
Understood that the Kashyavas are a warrior.
Kshatriya.
Kshatriyas are a warrior.
Okay, very good, very good. Very good point. Okay.
Haribol.
Bol, Tirtha Gopal Prabhu ki jai.
Jai Hari Bol.
Okay. You want to become a Kshatriya warrior?
I don't know.
Okay. All right. Yeah, thank you. If there are nothing else, yeah, thank you very much, devotees. Today's
Prabhuji, I just to ask devotees for tomorrow's class. We do not have we did not have the chapter 15 summary. So, chapter 15 quiz. Usually we do every end of the chapter. So, I'll just bring up some quizzes so we can just.
Haribol.
So whoever does it, Mataji, will get some prizes, right?
Haribol.
Of course, we will glorify them in front of all the devotees, Vaishnavas.
Yeah.
Haribol.
Thank you.
Saraswati Mataji ki jai. Thank you, Mataji.
Shri Krishna Prabhu Ji ki jai. Tirtha Gopal ki jai.
Jai.
So we'll conclude today's session. Vancha kalpatrubhyasya kripa sindhu deva patitanam
Pavanebhyo
Vaishnavabhyo
namo
Ananta
namo.
Koti Vaishnavrinda ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Shri Krishna Prabhu Ji ki jai. Tirtha Gopal
Jai.
ki jai. Hare
Jai.
Krishna.